Hello, everyone. This is JB. I'm from Wisconsin. Today, I'm going to tell you about my recent Frontier Airlines experience. I have flown Frontier Airlines before. I don't exactly remember when, but this was the first time, probably in a year, 2 years, something like that. And so this time, I bought a ticket going from Wisconsin to North Carolina and back, 2 weeks apart. And the ticket was incredibly cheap. It was, I paid $126, but I bought it through Cheapo Air, and apparently the ticket was actually $106. So Cheapo Air must have took a $20 tip. That's fine. So let's say it's $126 to go round trip from Wisconsin to North Carolina. That's incredibly cheap. I actually made a joke on my social media about how can it be so cheap. Maybe they're gonna strap me to the wing, or they're gonna make me ride in the wheel well. Because I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand how they could uh, charge so little. But when I got to the airport, I went to the ticket counter to get my boarding pass, like you do. That's what you do. And the lady said, "You need to check in on your smartphone." I have a smartphone, but it ain't real smart. It doesn't do much. And I use the computer because that's what adults do. Children, they use the cell phone, but the adults, we use the computer. So I said, "Well, I have a computer. I can check it on that." She said, "Go ahead." So I went and I checked in, and I went back to the counter to get my boarding pass, and she said, "I can give you a boarding pass, of course, but you're going to have to pay $25. And I said, "Why? I already paid for the boarding pass when I bought my ticket, right?" And she said, "No." She said, "You got to pay, or you can use your smartphone." And, well, I like I said, I have a smartphone, but it's not real smart. It doesn't do anything. Like, I can make calls with it, and that's about it. And because I'm not going to spend $2,000 to buy the iPhone 15 or whatever bullshit, I'm not doing it. I got a phone. It costs about $7 or whatever, 15, 20, 30, whatever it was, a little bit. And I make a call when I need to make a call, and that's all I do. Every once in a while, I'll check the face page or the Gmail, and that's it. I don't text unless I have to. I don't do anything. No games, no apps, none of that bullshit. But this lady said you have to use the app. So what happens if your phone that you spent $2,000 for, you got the iPhone 15, whatever? What happens if you don't have battery? How do you check in with your phone? What happens if you drop it while you're in the Bahamas? You drop it in the ocean. How do you get back home? That doesn't make no sense. Just give me the piece of paper and I'll give it to the guy at the counter and they'll let me in, right? It's pretty simple. But now, apparently, just to get a little piece of paper, you have to pay $25 each way. Because I asked her, "Can you just print both of them so I don't have to do this again?" She said, "No, I'm going to charge you $25, and then when you come back, they're going to charge you another $25. So I guess that's how they make their money. Because, like, I mean, the ticket's $126, but you can't bring anything with you. You can't bring a carry-on. If you have a checked bag, I mean, I don't know the exact amount, but it's a lot each way. Let's say like $50, $75 or more each way for each bag. And then if you don't buy it online and you buy it in person, then there's more fees for buying it in person, and you have to buy it a certain amount of time before, or there's more fees. So that's, I guess, how they make money, is just by all these ticky-tack bullshit fees. Nickel and diming you to death. But I guess that's what you get when you fly with the low-cost carrier. People choose low-cost carriers because they want a good value. But, I mean, maybe you need to pay more to get a good value. Go with a more reputable, I hate to say that because it doesn't sound very nice, but go with a more reputable airline. That costs a little more, U.S. Airways or United or whatever. But But I guess like if you're just going somewhere for a couple days and you don't need to bring bags, you can just bring your little book bag or your purse. You're not bringing a lot of clothes. You're not bringing a lot of other stuff. It's good because you can just fly for $100 or whatever. Have your little trip and fly right back without losing much money in the process. But one good thing I can say about the flight yesterday is that it was comfortable because there weren't that many people on it. There's 3 seats on each side of the airplane, and I had all 6 seats to myself. I had my whole row to myself, and a couple rows behind me were empty, and a couple rows in front of me were empty, and there were a lot of other empty rows throughout the airplane. The only area that was full was in the front, because I guess those people paid extra just so they could get in and out quick. $30 or $40 extra to choose your seat. And that's another thing. You buy your ticket and then you have to pay extra. And if you don't want to pay extra, they randomly choose your seat, but they randomly put you in the worst place. Or all the way in the back, in the middle seat, or whatever. So that's another thing. They have this figured out. It's not their first rodeo. They've done this before. They know how to make money, I guess. But I might fly Frontier again. I think the previous experiences that I had were better. Like, I don't remember all the hassle and all the little fees and all that. But I still might fly again. But hopefully, when I do, it's going to be a direct flight. Because this time I had to go to Denver and I had a 10-hour layover. And then on the way back, I'm going to have to go back through Denver, have another 10-hour layover. I guess Denver is on the way between Wisconsin and North Carolina. So that's why you have to go to Denver. But yeah, hopefully next time I buy a ticket, I can go straight somewhere. And I can go straight somewhere warm, like Florida. Fly straight there, fly straight back, spend $100, have a good time. So I don't really appreciate all the fees and all the little games that they kind of play, but it is nice to be able to go somewhere and not spend $1,000 or $500 or whatever. So that's my review of my recent experience with Frontier Airlines. Thanks for listening.